So there's some news I guess I can talk about, and that is that the CBR600RR might be discontinued. I think it's a given that it's going to be discontinued in Europe. You know, Europe's a big place. Which means, you know, it might be the end of the CBR altogether. And it's the reason is because of the, you know, environmental standards, the emission standards for that recently came out, and Honda doesn't cut it for the CBR600RR. And apparently there's a lot to do to get them to be able to conform to these new standards, and it'd be very expensive. And 600s just aren't selling anyway, right? It's in the motorcycle market, it's a bit of a niche interest, as people who want Formula One racers in their driveway. Generally, they're the guys wanting 600s. You know, and there's a 1000 market. I guess the 600 is too close to the lower bikes, whereas the 1000, I don't know. Anyway, I think the CBR600RR is, well, it's my personal favorite as a bike. Absolutely love it. It's awesome, you know, and it's comfortable, but a lot of times that's used as a criticism. Well, it's built for the street. And it's not. Like, it's 1 inch higher, less aggressive than the other bikes. Like, it's not even noticeable, really, if you don't know much about bikes, or you're not a racer. Even then, you're not really going to notice too much difference. All right, you know, still unaggressive. I'm still bent right over the bike. But I'm really disappointed to hear that it's my favorite bike, and to be honest, I do not like the other 600s. I don't. And, you know, this is I don't know why I came into Tim Hortons. This is a personal opinion. I hope this camera's going. Yeah, it is. This is a personal opinion, and this is an opinion vlog. So I'm not claiming that everything I say is correct. I'm saying it's correct for me. So that said, I don't like the other 600s, and here's why. And this is an opinion. The Yamaha R6 is built for taller riders. It is. So if you're 5'11" or 5'10" or 5'9", I don't even know how tall I am. I'm somewhere around there. If you're that, most R6s stock are going to be too tall for you, and your toes are barely going to be touching the ground. Or if they have the bike lowered a bit, which I noticed they did the last time I went out to the dealership, the seat is still built for tall riders. So the seat is very wide. Like my hips are not wide enough for an R6. It's just very uncomfortable, and my legs don't bend in their sockets that way, right? If I was a G.I. Joe figure, I could probably manage it, but as a human, I can't, right? And I'm not tall enough. The R6 is for tall riders. You can get away with it if you're short, but it's not ideal. It's not ideal. I don't mind the aggressive seating position. I'm a super sport guy, so that's what I'm into. That's what I'm interested in. So obviously that doesn't bother me. That's the reason we buy these bikes. The Gixxer, the GSXR, Suzuki, you kind of feel like you're sitting in the bike. It's true, and a lot of people really like that. Like, you fit into it, but it's just so damn ugly to me. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. It's so ugly. The front light, and it's curvy in all the wrong spots, and it's just it's a hideous bike for me, right? It's hideous. Just hideous. And those stupid turning lights on these mirrors, on the front of those mirrors, is just so ugly. Oh my god. It's absolutely ridiculous. It looks so ugly to me. Now, performance-wise, it's probably fantastic, but the aesthetic, for me, my opinion, you know, my aesthetic, my preference, is so butt ugly. It's so damn ugly. And my tastes differ from a lot of people. I'm gonna admit that, especially as I talk further. The Kawasaki, you know, ZX6R, the whatever it is, the cheater bike, the 636. I got on it, guys, at the dealership, and I was really at an open mind, and I was actually thinking about buying it, and it just felt like a horse. It was really long and skeletal, like an emaciated horse. Like, you know, death or famine, you know, one of the four horsemen should be riding the 636 into battle, right? And it felt so cheap. Like the plastic for the dash was so cheap. It felt cheap. It felt like I could dig into it with my fingernail. It felt horrible. It felt cheap, man. And this may not be right, and I don't want to hurt those sales. You need to go see it for yourself, because other people have vastly different opinions than I do, but that was my opinion. It felt cheap. I felt like I was on a toy. So those are the main bikes, right? You know, you've got Triumph, and to be honest, I didn't, it's gonna feel bad saying this, I didn't buy it because it was American. And not because I'm against America, just that the Japanese bikes consistently have a higher reliability rating. I know Yamaha leads the pack right now. So I thought there's going to be a lot of maintenance to it, and you know, that's just the history of American compared to Japanese products, right? And but on top of that, because it's American, it's a bit rare as a sport bike. So dealerships just, unless you're in a major center, they just don't carry Triumph sport bikes. So I have no idea where I'd get it serviced, right? Like, that was a big issue. Now, guys, I don't want to say American products are crap, because they're not, right? They've caught up. I don't think there's a lot of difference now between American cars and trucks and Japanese. There still may be a difference, but, you know, reputation-wise, and if you look at the reliability ratings, the Japanese win across the board. They even outdo BMW, right? And that's a big deal. If you're buying a fun bike, you can't afford to be fixing it all the time, you know? Especially if you live in the middle of nowhere, in a big city. You know, like Ducati, same thing. I can't buy one because there's no place to maintain it, and there's no place to maintain it, and they really are rich people bikes, right? And what I mean by that, what do I mean by a rich people bike? Wealthy people tend to buy things that are disposable, right? If you're fairly wealthy, you don't buy a product because it's going to be a long-term product that you have forever and you want reliability and durability. You know, wealthy people in general would flop over and die if they had to ride an early 2016 model at the end of 2016, right? They want the newest, you know, it's a symbol of their wealth typically, you know, so the products are engineered that way, right? They're not engineered to last. They're engineered to be eye candy because they're going to be thrown away in a while, right? And if, you know, otherwise you're going to have huge issues maintaining them, right? That's, you know, often the philosophy of wealthy people products, right? You're going to be doing a lot of maintenance just to keep it running all the time, right? Right? So that's it. It's a wealthy people vehicle, right? And generally you better have some cash in hand to maintain your Ducati, right? Tom Cruise drives a Ducati, and he probably, you know, has a mechanic living at his home and a bay, you know. Okay, so that brings me to Honda. Okay, so Honda's reliability rating is just behind Yamaha now. For most of existence, Honda's been #1 in reliability in their sport bike. You know, I even can look up how many seconds it took to build the CBR. Like, they're pretty, oh, look, a Porsche. That could be my pace car. You know, Honda is just a very reliable bike. But I mean, it's, you know, like 1% below Yamaha now, or whatever it is. So for reliability, you know, Honda's still there. It's still near the top, you know, second or whatever it is. You know, within 1%, just, you know, negligible. And I love the look, guys, of the CBR. I love the look of the CBR. Absolutely love the look of this bike. Now, I've got a 2012, which I love the look of, and now I'm going to go against the grain. So you're going to realize that you really need to take everything I say with a grain of salt, because I love the look of the new CBR. The 2013 and on, I love the look of the CBR. My God, it's so awesome. And people who don't like it are weird. No, obviously it's just an aesthetic. I love the look of that bike. You know, some people criticize it, Camaro-like or blah, blah, blah. I love the new CBR, man. I think that's the coolest thing ever. The aggressive front end, and boy, that top CR6 for me, no problem. I love that bike. My God. You know, so I've been trying to save up to actually upgrade to 2013 and on. Haven't been able to do it though, because well, it's just life, right?